My beloved child, I want you to understand a truth that many people only come to realize after they have walked through most of their lives. Wounds are not the end of the story, but often the very place where a ministry of healing begins. What the enemy once used to make you fall, I can turn into a bridge that helps others rise again. What once made you weep through the night, I can use to wipe the tears of souls who are drowning in despair. For in my kingdom, no sorrow is ever wasted when it is placed in my hands. You have asked many times why you had to walk through such rough and difficult roads, why some lessons had to be learned through tears, why some losses cut so deeply that it felt as though your soul had been torn in two. But my child, today, I want to lift your vision higher than your present pain. I want you to see what I see. While you only see seasons of drought, I see someone who will know how to lead others to living water. While you only see dark nights, I see a lamp that will shine for those who have lost their way. While you only see the times you fell, I see a living testimony of grace and restoration. There are small decisions that have changed the destiny of an entire generation. Not decisions made before a crowd, but quiet choices made in the hidden place of the soul. When Esther chose to stand before the king, even though it could have cost her life, the history of an entire people was turned in another direction. When young David chose to step out and face Goliath instead of running away like the others, a new chapter was opened for Israel. And today, I am also placing a choice before you. It is not a choice between success and failure, but a choice between keeping your pain forever to yourself or allowing me to turn it into a blessing for others. I know you have gone through seasons that no one understood. There were battles that took place entirely within your heart. There were nights when even prayer became difficult. You called out, yet it seemed as though only silence answered you. You waited, yet time kept stretching on. But even in those very seasons, I was doing my deepest work. For I do not only want to rescue you from your circumstances, I want to form within you a heart that can feel compassion for those who are suffering. One who has never passed through the desert can hardly understand another person's thirst. But one whom I have led through the wilderness will know how to show others where the water can be found. Remember Joseph, the years of betrayal, being sold into slavery, and imprisonment seemed to be nothing but loss. But when my appointed time came, he understood that all those sorrows had prepared him to preserve the lives of many during the famine. What had once been a wound became an instrument of deliverance. What had once been a trial became wisdom, and what had once made him weep became a testimony of my faithfulness. My child, many times you are asking me to remove a burden, while I am turning that very burden into a source of strength for your future. Do not think the former season will last forever. I am the God of seasons. There is a season for planting. There is a season for waiting. There is a season for pruning. And there is also a season for harvest. What I am saying to you today is not a threat, but a loving awakening. There are spiritual opportunities that appear only within a certain moment. There are doors that open only within a certain season. Therefore, do not fall asleep in familiarity. Do not allow old disappointments to cause you to miss the new thing I am placing before you. As it is written in Scripture, today, if you hear His voice, do not harden your hearts. My call does not always come through great and dramatic events. Many times, it comes as a gentle stirring within the heart, a sense that it is time to move forward, a recognition that it is time to release what is old, a conviction that I am inviting you to go deeper into your purpose. And when you respond, even with one small step, I will open things that you cannot yet see in the present. My beloved child, I am not calling you to rise only so that you may save yourself. I am calling you to rise because there are others who need to see the light I have kindled within you. There are people in despair who will find hope again when they hear your story. There are people wrestling with shame who will be healed when they see how I have restored you. There are people who think their lives are over, but through your journey, they will realize that I am still writing their story. Remember the Samaritan woman at the well. Before she met me, she carried much brokenness and shame, but after that encounter, the very one who had once been looked down upon became the bearer of good news to an entire city. I did not erase her past. I turned that past into a testimony. I did not deny her wounds. I healed them and used them to touch others. My child, that is also what I desire to do with your life. Therefore, do not see the pain you have passed through merely as sad memories. Place them in my hands. Let me purify them with grace. Let me turn them into a source of wisdom, mercy, and compassion. For those who have been healed often become the best healers. Those who have been lifted up often know how to lift others with the greatest tenderness. My beloved child, I do not speak these words to place a burden on your shoulders, nor to make your heart tremble before the things that have not yet come. I speak because I love you, and true love awakens before danger appears. The watchman on the wall does not sound the trumpet because he hates his people, but because he wants them to stay awake. In the same way, I am calling your soul to come out of spiritual slumber, to come out of a way of living that merely reacts according to passing emotions, and to begin seeing all things in the light of wisdom that comes from heaven. My child, as your soul matures in me, you will come to realize that not every battle takes the form of a great and visible event. Many of the most important battles take place within your own mind. It is there that truth confronts deception. It is there that faith stands against doubt. It is there that hope faces despair. Therefore, when you feel pressure increasing, when old memories suddenly return, when fears you thought had long been buried begin to awaken again, do not be quick to assume that I have moved far from you. Many times, these moments are actually signs that you are drawing nearer to what I have prepared for you. Darkness often reacts most intensely when the dawn is about to break. My beloved child, understand that every step of obedience carries far greater value than your eyes can see. There are small acts upon the earth that create echoes throughout eternity. A single act of forgiveness can break a cycle of bitterness that has lasted for years. One honest decision can open a door of blessing for generations to come. One simple act of surrender can change the course of an entire family. For in my kingdom, I often begin great things through very small choices that are filled with faith. Remember the story of Joshua and Caleb. While the people saw giants and were paralyzed by fear, those two men chose to trust my word more than what their eyes could see. That decision allowed them to enter the promised land, while an entire generation missed the opportunity. My child, what changes a destiny is not always extraordinary strength. Many times, it is simply a heart that chooses to trust me more than its fears. And today, I am placing that same choice before you. Do not allow old accusations to define who you are. The enemy of your soul continually seeks to pull you back toward your past failures. He reminds you of your stumbles, your wrong decisions, and the opportunities you have lost. He wants you to focus more on your past than on my grace. But I declare that your identity is not found in what you have done wrong. Your identity is found in what I am making new. As it is written in Scripture, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, all things have become new. My child, do not continue living in a house that I called you to leave long ago. I also want you to learn the difference between emotions and my leading. Emotions are like the waves of the sea. Some days they rise, and some days they are calm. But my voice is like the North Star, always present, whether the sky is covered with clouds or shining in perfect clarity. If you walk only according to what you feel, Your direction will constantly change. But if you walk according to the conviction I have placed within your heart, you will remain steadfast even when your emotions have not yet caught up. For faith is not built upon what you feel, but upon the one who never changes. My beloved child, remember Daniel. While others compromised in order to protect their positions, he continued to kneel in prayer. When the decree was issued, he remained faithful, just as he had always been. He did not fight with human strength. He fought through steadfastness in his relationship with me, and it was in the lion's den that my power was revealed. My child, many times, the greatest victories do not come from doing extraordinary things, but from remaining faithful in the ordinary things day after day. Do not think that you are walking alone. There are moments when loneliness may make you feel that no one understands the journey you are going through, but I am with you in every step. I am with you in the quiet mornings and in the long, restless nights. When you pray, those words do not disappear into empty space. When you weep, those tears do not fall without purpose. When you call upon me, I hear you. As it is written, the Lord is near to the brokenhearted. My presence does not depend on your feelings. I am still there even when you cannot sense me. My child, the greatest battle is not against what is outside of you, but against allowing doubt to take hold of your heart. For when a person stops believing that I am at work, they stop expecting. When they stop expecting, they stop praying. And when they stop praying, they begin to rely upon their own strength. That is why I remind you today, do not let the silence of one season cause you to forget what I spoke in previous seasons. What I promised still remains true. What I began is still continuing. What I have ordained for your life has not changed simply because of your present circumstances. Therefore, put on your spiritual armor every day. Clothe yourself with truth when the world is filled with voices of confusion and distraction. Put on righteousness when accusations seek to pull you down. Take up the shield of faith when arrows of doubt come flying toward you. Keep my word within your heart as a lamp that lights your path. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. My beloved child, do not fight to earn my acceptance. You were loved before the battle ever began. Do not strive to secure the position of a son or daughter, for you are already my child. Do not pray as one who is trying to gain heaven's attention. Pray as a child speaking with their father. Walk in that peace. Live from that truth. Then you will discover that victory does not begin with defeating the darkness. It begins with realizing that my light has been within you all along. It is that light that will guide you through every season. Open every door I have appointed, and transform your life into a living testimony of my unchanging faithfulness. My beloved child, a new chapter is opening before you. It is not a chapter of victimhood, but a chapter of victory. It is not a chapter of mere survival, but a chapter of purpose. I am calling you out of old limitations and into a place where your story is no longer centered on what you have lost, but on what I have restored. And when you place your broken pieces into my hands, I will do what only I can do. I will turn them into a masterpiece that reflects my glory, my mercy, and my everlasting love to the souls who are still searching for their way home. My beloved child, I am not asking you to understand everything. I am simply asking you to continue trusting me. Do not let what has not yet happened make you forget what I have already done. Do not allow unopened doors to cause you to doubt the promises I have spoken. For I am the one who holds time in my hands. Not one of my promises is ever lost. Not one of my plans is delayed beyond my intention. Everything is moving toward the appointed moment I have ordained. Therefore, walk with a heart at peace. Let faith be stronger than the questions that remain unanswered. Let obedience be greater than the need to understand everything. And as you continue moving forward in this way, you will see what is only a seed today become a field overflowing with harvest. You will see doors that no human strength could ever open standing wide before you, not because of your own ability, but because of my faithful hand. Then you will understand that every season of waiting had meaning. Every arrangement had purpose, and every path I led you on was bringing you closer to what I prepared from the very beginning. My beloved child, there are treasures within your life that even you have not fully seen. Many times, you look only at your limitations, at what remains unfinished, at the wounds that still ache within you, and you conclude that your life has accomplished little. But if I were to open your eyes to see what has happened through those seemingly ordinary acts, you would be amazed. There are souls who have been lifted up by a word of encouragement you spoke without even realizing its impact. There are people who found hope again simply because they encountered kindness in your eyes. There are hearts drowning in despair that received a ray of light through your quiet presence in their lives. You do not know all of those stories because I did not create you to live for recognition, but I know every one of them. No act of love that flows from a sincere heart is ever lost in my kingdom. You often think that great things must be accomplished through great means. Yet I have repeatedly shown the opposite. I used the small sling in David's hand to bring down a giant. I used 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands. I used a poor widow to demonstrate faith greater than that of the wealthy. In the same way, I am using the simple things within you to reach places that power, wealth, and fame can never touch. What changes another person's life is not always a powerful sermon or a remarkable achievement. Sometimes it is simply timely compassion, a supportive embrace, a prayer offered in secret, or a heart that refuses to stop loving even while carrying its own wounds. My beloved child, never measure your worth by what the world applauds. Your true value is not determined by human applause. It is measured by how much you reflect, my love, and you have done that more often than you realize. Even on days when your own heart was hurting, you chose to comfort others. Even during seasons when you were wrestling with your own questions, you still took time to listen to someone else. This is the beauty of a transformed soul. As it is written, "For we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." You do not exist by accident. You were created with purpose. I know there have been seasons when the heavens seemed silent. You prayed but did not immediately hear an answer. You searched for signs but encountered only an extended stillness. And it is often in those moments that the enemy whispers the lie that I have abandoned you. But my beloved child, do not mistake my silence for my absence. Some of my deepest works are accomplished during seasons when few words are spoken. When a tree is planted, the most important part is not what appears above the ground, but the roots that are quietly growing beneath it. That is also what I am doing within your soul. Remember the story of King David. Before he stood before Israel wearing a crown, he spent years alone in the wilderness, tending sheep. No one saw the hours he spent worshiping. No one witnessed the battles he fought against lions and bears to protect his flock. Yet it was those hidden years that prepared him for the day he would face Goliath. Without the lonely pastures, there would have been no victory on the battlefield. Without the forgotten years, there would have been no king after my own heart. In the same way, the seasons when you feel unnoticed may actually be among the most important seasons of my preparation. I am teaching you an art that not everyone learns, the art of trusting before results can be seen. Genuine faith is not born on days when everything is clear. Mature faith grows on the days when you keep walking even though you cannot yet see the entire road. When Peter stepped out of the boat, the waves were still raging. When Abraham left his homeland, he did not yet know the land to which he was going. When Noah built the ark, There was still no rain in sight. Those whom I use must learn to walk before they can see. And that is exactly what I am teaching you today. My beloved child, do not fear the battles you are facing. They have not come to prove your weakness. They have come to reveal the strength I have placed within you. A soldier is not trained to remain forever in the safety of the camp. He is prepared for the battlefield. Your soul is no different. Every trial is teaching you how to recognize my voice among countless others. Every season of waiting is teaching you patience. Every disappointment is teaching you to place your hope in me rather than in circumstances. As it is written in Isaiah, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. Hold these words close to your heart. I did not promise that you would never pass through deep waters. I did not promise that you would never encounter the fires of testing. But I did promise that these things would not destroy you. They will only reveal my faithfulness and the strength I have planted within you. Therefore, today I want you to stop seeing yourself as someone who has been forgotten. You are being prepared. You are being shaped. You are being led. And the day will come when you look back on these silent seasons with gratitude. For it was in the wilderness that I taught you to hear my voice. It was during the days when few people noticed you that I laid the foundation for greater things. And it was when you thought you were standing alone that I was actually nearest to you. Keep moving forward, my beloved child. What I am doing within you is far more beautiful than anything you can presently see. My beloved child, there are influences you have had upon the lives of others that will never be fully told to you in this life. There are seeds you have planted without ever knowing where they took root. There are souls who found hope again after a brief conversation with you. There are hearts sinking in despair that received strength through a compassionate glance, a sincere word of encouragement, or a gentle presence that seemed too ordinary to make a difference. You often measure your value by what your eyes can see, but I see far beyond that. I see the ripples of kindness flowing from your life into places you may never know. Many times, you believe that you have accomplished nothing significant. You look at your limitations and assume that what you have to offer is too small. But my beloved child, in my kingdom, what changes lives is not always something extraordinary. Jesus used 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed a multitude. A widow offered 2 small coins and became an enduring example of faith. I often use what the world considers insignificant to accomplish things beyond human understanding. Therefore, do not underestimate what I have placed in your hands. What seems small when surrendered to me can become a blessing for many. Someone found the strength to continue for one more day because of the kindness you showed them. Someone chose not to give up because they saw a glimmer of hope reflected in you. Someone experienced my love through the way you listened when no one else would. You do not know all of those stories, but I do. I witnessed every moment. I saw the times you gave even when you yourself needed encouragement. I saw the days when your own heart still carried wounds. Yet you chose to become a source of comfort for others. Those moments reflect the beauty of heavenly love. As it is written, let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. There are seasons when you do not yet see the harvest because the harvest time has not arrived, but the seed is still alive beneath the soil. The good things you have sown have not disappeared. They are being preserved within my purposes and will bear fruit at the appointed time. My beloved child, I also want you to understand something deeper. Do not be quick to conclude that silence is proof of my absence. There are times when I do not answer in the way you expect because I am accomplishing a deeper work within you. When a child is young, they need their hand held with every step. But as they mature, they must learn to walk according to what they have been taught. I am doing the same with you. There are seasons when I allow you to walk more by faith than by feelings. so that you may learn to recognize my presence not only in powerful moments, but also in stillness. Remember the prophet Elijah on Mount Horeb. He looked for me in the mighty wind, in the earthquake, and in the fire. But I was not found in those things. Afterward, I came in a gentle whisper. Do you see? I do not always speak through dramatic signs. Many times, my voice comes through quiet peace in the midst of chaos. And mature souls are those who learn to recognize my voice even when every other sound has faded away. I call you a warrior not because you have never been afraid, but because you continue moving forward despite your fear. A victor is not someone who has never faced a storm. A victor is someone who keeps believing while the storm rages. There are battles you have already overcome without realizing how strong you truly were. There were dark nights when you thought you would collapse. Yet the dawn still came and you were still standing. That was not your strength alone. It was my grace sustaining you day by day. Look at Moses. In his youth, he believed he could fulfill his calling through his own strength and wisdom. Yet he had to enter the wilderness. 40 years seemed to separate him from every opportunity, every honor, and every influence. Many would call that a waste. I called it preparation. While the world believed Moses had been forgotten, I was developing within him qualities that the palaces of Egypt could never teach. I was teaching him humility, patience, and the ability to hear my voice when the appointed time arrived. That unknown shepherd became the leader who guided an entire nation into freedom. My beloved child, perhaps you are in a similar wilderness season right now. A season without much applause. A season without much recognition. A season where everything seems to move more slowly than you expected. But do not despise that season. It is within the silence that I am writing my deepest lessons upon your soul. It is during the days when few people notice you that I am building foundations that will endure. The tallest trees often spend years developing the deepest roots before they rise toward the sky. Therefore, today, I want you to stop measuring your worth by what others can see. See yourself through my eyes. You are not an accident. You are not an anonymous face drifting through life. You are part of a purpose that I am unfolding. I have used you more than you realize. I am preparing you more than you know. And I will continue to work through you far beyond anything you can presently imagine. So keep loving, keep being faithful, keep moving forward even when you cannot see the entire path ahead. For those whom I use most powerfully are often not the ones who make the loudest noise, but the ones who remain in my presence the longest. And as you continue walking in this way, one day you will look back and realize that even the wilderness seasons were part of the journey, leading you to the place I prepared for you from the very beginning.